Super Metro Force.
What is going on, YouTube? Because of internet, YouTube, social media net stuff is normalizing our collection, in the end making collecting not as fun. I'd like to bring up this discussion today because of a comment from my video in the past when I did the video about talking about complete collections, the philosophy, the mentalness behind it, and why people do it. We had this great comment from Rain Mixtape. So here it is in my beautiful voice. In a general sense, the journey is more fulfilling than the end. The end quickly feels hollow. You will be different than you were when you first started out for it. So the feelings you have had if you got it all at the beginning might not be there when you complete a collection years later, as it is an older version of you. I think the simplest way to look at how unsatisfying completing a collection is, you had a 32-inch TV, then you buy an 85-inch TV. Now, at first, you're like, wow, this TV is massive, or mahoosive, or whatever you put on there. But give it a couple weeks and your brain will normalize it and you will just see an 85-inch TV. And it just seems like a normal TV. The normalization process is what your brain does all the time, whether you like it or not, in every aspect of your life. So yeah, for a week it might seem amazing to have a full set, but then it will just become a background noise in your life and you will sell it off. So thinking about that, because I've heard this in a past video and I really love it. But the whole summit theory, when you're getting near the end of something, your goal in mind, you see, the finish line, you're climbing a mountain and you see the summit, so you just put up your blinders, run towards the end, and just kind of lose the passion, lose the love for it, just because you want to finish up. Now, like Mixtape said in this video, at first, completing that collection is probably like the most massive high you've ever had in your life. Your dopamine levels are huge. You're just feeling like up on a pink cloud. It is just the best thing ever. But after a while of continuing to look at it, it becomes normalized. You become desensitized towards it because it's there. Like behind me, let's see, I think it's back. Yeah, right there is a complete in box NES, mint condition. I got it one time and it was like one of my greatest finds ever. Blown away by it, absolutely loved it. And within a week or so of having it, I started to just kind of be like, it got lost in the background. Exactly like he said here. It'll be amazing to have a full set, but then it will just become background noise in your life. And that's what it was. I had it up on the wall over by my setup. I just sat there sometimes enjoying it. And I just found myself over time looking at it less and less, enjoying it less and less. And then just one day, it's just part of the room now. I lost a lot of the luster for it. And now it's just there. And I think that sometimes comes with the collecting part. Now, that's not to say that's what everybody's going to see or feel. There's still people out there that probably complete their collection. It's the best thing that's happened in their life, and they absolutely love it. Nothing wrong with that. But even anybody watching this with a full, I want to know this. Anybody watching this that has a full collection or a collection of something, whether it's cards, toys, figures, whatever, when you've completed it, let me know over time if you just kind of lost your edge for it. I know a lot of guys that watch this channel do have either complete collections or near it. So I want to know in the comments below, once you got it, over time, did it just become background noise? Was it or do you still just sit there till this day and admire what it is and think about how you got it? And I've talked in other videos about this being gratitude month. I'm recording this in the middle of November and experiencing that and being grateful for stuff and trying to learn humility. And sometimes I do want to take that opportunity to sit back and look at something I have and appreciate how I was able to get it. So, like, even right now, looking back, pointing out that Nintendo, complete in box, thinking more about it, and just knowing that that came out, you know, let's see, 37 years ago. Yeah, and now I was born in 1987. I believe the Nintendo started showing up more around here in 87 to 89. And just thinking that it is the same age probably as I am, and it's still like the box is minty, everything's amazing with it, and how lucky I was to actually find that. And maybe that's kind of the trick to thinking about stuff, is remembering how humility is honestly it. Remember being grateful for how you were able to get that. And maybe we spend more time doing that, we could continue to keep less normalizing our collections in general. We can continue to remember why we love that so much. Why this was, you know, such a great find. Why we needed this, or thought we needed this at one point. Extremely wanted is more what I should say. But that is, I think, a good discussion that I'd love to have with other people, is when you got that collection and you had it around more and more, did it become less fun to have? Or did it just, you know, was it just something that disappeared in the background? One of my goals at one point was, I love gaming boxes. Obviously, you can't see all of them. I got like a PlayStation ones back there, a nice complete Genesis one back there, and it just, I enjoyed it because when I was a kid, you know, I'm sure a lot of us regret it now, but especially with like NES games and stuff like that, we'd take the game, you know, we'd get the game for a birthday, we'd get it for Christmas or whatever, we'd rip the box open, take the game out, throw the box away, and just kind of continue on. And I mentioned in the past, that was one thing I actually loved about Genesis, Sega Genesis, was every game came with the clamshell, you know, so you always had that, and it was kind of cool to have, whereas, you know, cardboard was just like rip, throw away. So having the cardboard around now is just so nostalgic for me, because I was not one to save stuff like that. Is always throw it away. And maybe that's why now I did like having some of this stuff around, was besides, you know, keeping it, I always just kind of tossed it. And who knows, maybe I'm hitting a midlife crisis early, trying to hold on to my childhood as I, you know, drift ever so close to 40. And having some of the stuff from my childhood is really just kind of trying to keep me feeling younger in general. There's a lot of mental stuff that comes with this, guys. And that's why, you know, I could probably talk for days about this stuff. And this is probably a good time to offer out the disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I have no medical background, no, you know, mental therapy background. I am just a dude that likes to talk about stuff and talk about my experiences. So a lot of times I feel like I have to emphasize that and throw that in the videos, because I don't want people to think that I have, you know, too much real. I don't have a degree or anything in this stuff, guys. It's just me talking about my own experiences and my thoughts on stuff. But God, I loved his example in this, because it is so true. I remember when I got my PS5, absolutely blown away about it for 2 weeks, and then it kind of just became normal. And then when I got my 4K TV, a 55-inch 4K TV for it down here in the game room, being blown away at the HDR, 4K, everything like that. And then now it's just normal, guys. I mean, so yes, there's games that I'll pop in, and I'll remember when the cutscenes pop up how amazing it looks and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, God, this looks great. You know, I love this TV. I love this TV. But just sitting down here in the game room, just kind of spinning around in the chair, looking at stuff, it's just like, no, that's my TV, guys. And it's an okay TV. But that was such a great example to kind of put this stuff into perspective. So, in summary, the journey is more fulfilling than the end. Should be something that people remember. We have a lot more fun doing the stuff that we do than the finish line. Now, that's not to say a 5K run I couldn't imagine that when you start getting really tired, that ending's probably looking very good. And that could be sometimes too with the collecting part that we forget about. That the journey itself, you know, it seems monotonous, it seems de-energizing, tiring, and then at one point you're just like, I just want to be done. And then once you are done, it just downward slopes even more. So enjoy the games, whether it be playing them, preserving them, or just living with the memories of nostalgia from your childhood. Enjoy the games, guys. Enjoy the collectibles. Enjoy the stuff. Enjoy life. And if you don't enjoy it anymore, take my advice. Get rid of it or get it to somebody else that will enjoy it. And then try and use that money, whatever experience, for something else down the road. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I want to know your comments in below if you guys have experienced any of this. Or just tell me what's up. I love reading you guys' comments. So, with that being said, guys, as always, stay retro, my friends. I will see you in the next video. Have yourself a great day, guys. God bless.
Super Retro Force.